Charlie's ASMR world. It's been a while. Flipping heck. It's been about 3 weeks since we last recorded on here, and that is due to, well, a number of things. One, I went on holiday with the family. Two, our holiday was extended, so the plan was go away for a few days, come back, add a video or two I wanted to do. We extended the holiday by a few days, and that had a knock-on effect because by staying longer we ended up catching COVID, so that knocked us about, and then we came back here. It's like the hottest couple of days in UK history that's been recorded, isn't it? So it's been pretty rough, but yeah, ignore the hair, it's too hot to put a hat on, and I'm using my trusty microphone holder, aka a ruler, as you do when you are on a budget for your videos. And we have a black coffee on the go. So we are 1 day after the 38-degree weather we had. Holy hell. It has to be the worst weather I've ever experienced in the UK. Well, for everyone, I guess. We had fans on, windows open, the dogs were under a cold shower every couple of hours to cool them down. I was having a cold shower every couple of hours, but I'd come out, get dressed and be sweating again. It's awful. Anyway, moving on. Today we're going to catch up on some football. Before I go any further, just to let you know, well, I recorded this video yesterday, and I've had to re-record it today because the sound was off. But yeah, I have set up an FPL league with only me in it at the minute because I've not put out the link. In the description should be a link to my FPL. If it's not there, if I've forgotten, then just say in the comments where's the link and I'll sort it out. But I'll do a video showing my team, etc. in the next few days. Anyway, the FPL's just for fun as well, guys. There's no charge to join. There's no prizes either. It's just a bit of fun. Right. Let's talk transfers because we haven't done one of these in a few weeks. Clearly, a lot has happened. A quick recap, just right off the top of my head. Lewandowski's gone to Barcelona. Koulibaly's gone to Chelsea. Paul Pogba's gone to Juve. Jesus to Arsenal. United have signed Martinez and Malacia and Ericsson. Tottenham have signed Jed Spence and Richarlison. We're going to talk about all these players in a minute anyway. Let's start at the top in terms of alphabetical order. Let's go with Arsenal. So Arsenal have made a couple of signings whilst I've been away. They brought in Gabriel Jesus, who at the time I was a bit like, really? You're putting all your eggs in the Jesus basket? But if I'm being honest, it makes complete sense. He's worked with Arteta before. Arteta knows what he's going to get with a lad. He was maybe not relied on for goals by Pep, but definitely relied on for what he brings to the team. He is definitely a upgrade on Lacazette, because Lacazette didn't score, did he, all for Arsenal? Not last season really anyway. So in terms of will he be an improvement, yeah, of course he will. And then we stick him in a team with the likes of Martinelli and Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard. I think things are looking bright for Arsenal. I still think they're way off the pace of finishing in the top 4, especially when you look at Chelsea getting Sterling and Koulibaly. Tottenham's transfer business has blown everyone out of the water, in my opinion. But yeah, Arsenal, a couple of good signs. Zinchenko, I'm not his biggest fan. 32 million quid is a lot of money for Zinchenko, in my opinion. But he brings that winning mentality. He's got lots of experience of winning stuff with City. That can be invaluable to a young Arsenal team that hasn't won anything at all. Well, maybe an FA Cup, didn't they, a few years ago? Something like that. So yeah, I think Zinchenko was a good deal, just quite expensive. I'd say he's worth about 24 million myself, but he's worth whatever the club want to pay, really, isn't he? And just talk about him. There he's on the TV behind me, or behind you, rather. Not behind me, he's over there. Right, so that's Arsenal. Barcelona got Lewandowski. They also signed Rafinha. That one came out of nowhere. No, that's a lie. They were after him for quite a bit, as we all know. But it came out of nowhere. If you told me at the end of last season it'd be at Barcelona now, I'd be like, don't be silly. That is coming from somebody though who didn't watch Leeds week in, week out. And I often just go on goals, assists. If I had seen their name pop up in the scoring charts, then at times I think, yeah, they're really doing enough. But obviously Deco being his agent, Deco being a former Barca player, there's links there, and he got Rafinha the move. A brilliant deal for Leeds. I think he cost them less than 20 million quid, I think so, and they got like 60 million for him. It's a brilliant deal for them. And Lewandowski, £42.5 million. £42.5 million. He's gone to Barcelona. So now they've gone from having an attack of Depay, Luke de Jong, and who else did they take in? This was before Aubameyang. This is at the beginning of last season. They had Depay, de Jong, and Martin Braithwaite was still there, wasn't he? But they've gone from that to an attack of Ousmane Dembele, who signed an extra 1-year deal. Lewandowski, Aubameyang, Rafinha. That's pretty bloody good. Frenkie de Jong, they're still trying to get rid of. He's saying no, not until you sort out all my money. I am concerned if he joins United that he doesn't want to be there. That really does concern me. I've had enough of us signing players who don't want to be at our club. So if he joins, I hope it's for the right reasons, that he wants to play for United. If he doesn't join, then I won't lose any sleep over it. I think that United getting Christian Eriksen in is the bargain of the season, and I say that with a straight face. He is a free transfer. Last season I was watching him and thinking, what a player for Brentford. Obviously he was making his return from he's had the heart attack that he suffered for Denmark at the Euros, but then he came back, and in half a season he was doing what our players were doing in a full season, and I think United need that. It's a shame that Mata couldn't have been that player, that when Bruno was making ridiculous passes that weren't coming off and just frustrating the fans somewhat rotten, which he did all last season, Bruno Fernandes did. It would have been nice to have brought on one Mata if Mata had the energy and age on his side, but he didn't, so we couldn't do that. But Eriksen does, 30 years old, full of energy, can come on when Fernandes is irritating us or even start ahead of him. So I'm happy with that one. Let's talk about United. Malacia. I'm very chuffed to see us assign a young, inexpensive player. He's way too easy to go out and spend 40-50 million quid like we did with Wan-Bissaka on our left back. We did that with Luke Shaw, 30-odd million. I actually don't mind Alex Telles. I don't player. Melassie's coming as a left wing back. I don't mind Tellers, he's never let us down. But yeah, we've got Ericsson in, we've got Melassie in, we've brought in Martinez. People keep saying he's only short, he's too short. Hang on. What people fail then to mention is Christian Romero at Tottenham was probably in the top, considering he came in halfway through last season. I'd say, was he there from the start? I'm sure, no, he came in when Conte came in, didn't he? I'm sure it was in January. He was in like the top 8 centre-backs last season, for me anyway. So if you've got that in Romero, and Romero is not the tallest of players, he's not a big tall bloke, he can get himself about the pitch. I see something similar with Martinez, so I'm excited for that. If Ronaldo wants to go, then please go. Honestly, I hope he does, if he don't want to be there. Because I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing in the pre-season. It's only pre-season, I get that. But what I'm seeing that Eric Ten Hag has got going on at our club, I'm quite excited about. If you told me last season Anthony Martial would potentially be starting for United this coming season, I'd be like, don't be stupid. That is just ridiculous. But now it's looking quite likely that he will. Because even if Ronaldo stays on, he's not played pre-season for us. I can see us starting the first game this season with Anthony Martial up front. And he's got 3 goals in 3 games in pre-season, 1 yesterday against Palace. We've got Rashford and Sancho scoring goals. Again, I know it's just pre-season, but that's how it can go on, really, isn't it? And the little bits, I'm not trying to dig out Liverpool here, but the little bits I've seen in the Darwin Núñez, I would take Martial every day of the week over Núñez. Right now, anyway. But, I mean, there's still a chance and plenty of time for Núñez to prove me wrong and make me look stupid for saying that. Or Martial might prove me wrong, he might be crap in the season. But at the end of last season, I felt we needed at least one more striker. That was when I thought Martial would be going. Now it looks like Ronaldo could be the one to leave. So I still think we need another striker. Not necessarily a 50 to 60 million pound striker. I mean, I would be happy to see, what's his name coming? Ivan Toney. I don't mind that deal at all. Although I think he's still going to pay about 40 million quid for the lad. So he still wouldn't be cheap. But I did pretty well last season for Brentford. And I think as a backup or even as a first choice in the league, I know it's Europe that we obviously want to focus on. Either way, if it's not Ivan Toney, we need somebody. We need a backup to Martial if he's going to be our main man. Or Martial to be the backup to someone else. I'm not too sure at the minute. I'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But either way, I'm happy with United's business so far. We've cleared out a lot of dead wood. Not as much as I thought we would do, but enough for now. Tottenham have brought in Jed Spence for 12.5 million quid, rising to 20 possibly. What a signing this young lad will be. I've seen him a few times for Forest. I've seen him against, who did he take on now? They played Villa, I think, in the FA Cup and beat them comfortably. He was great in that game. And I've seen him in a couple of the league games at the end of the season for Forest, in the playoffs and the playoff final, I believe, and he was really good. Jed Spence was. Maybe they move on Emerson Royale. I don't quite know at the minute. I mean, they got him, they got Doherty, and they have Spence. don't think he is what Tottenham ultimately wanted. I think they're waiting for, is it Bastoni at Inter? I think that's his name. I think Tottenham are probably waiting to see if they can get him next summer. And Longley on a loan deal, bear in mind. I think Longley is just the answer for the short term. He's not a bad backup option really, with the experience he has. He won't be first choice, that's going to be Romero, Dyer and probably Sanchez, unfortunately. Or it might be Longley, Romero, Dyer, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I like Tom's work that the business have done. Even Perisic, what a signing, what a deal on a free. Richarlison, I didn't like it at first. I was like, what? Why? Because Tottenham are sitting linked to him first. And then, before you knew it, Arsenal and Chelsea were linked to him. So I started thinking, oh, hang on, wait there. Tottenham aren't the only ones daft enough to try and sign him. But then I thought about it properly. I was like, oh, now it makes sense. So think of it this way. So Tottenham are currently being linked with Memphis Depay. I don't know if that deal goes through or not, but listen to this. You got a front three of Kane, Son, Kulusevski. Or you could have Kane, Son, Richarlison, Son, Kulusevski, Kane, Kulusevski, Richarlison. That is just with Richarlison in there. Then you throw in Lucas Moura, who's still at Tottenham. They still have Brian Hill. I don't see him getting much game time. And if they bring in Depay, so you can have a front three of Kane, Son, Kulusevski, and a second front three of Richarlison, Moura, and Memphis Depay. Oops, sorry. That would be unthinkable a couple of years ago when all Tottenham could really call upon was Kane and Son up front. They had no other options. So I really hope they get Depay. It'd be brilliant business. They obviously also brought in Yves Bissouma on a great price, like 25 million quid. Can't go wrong with that. And who else have they brought in? I think that's everybody, is it? Off the top of my head, I think that's all the deals. Oh, Fraser Forster as a backup keeper. So yeah, I like what Tottenham have done. Chelsea lost Christensen and Rudiger. It looks like they can keep hold of Azpilicueta and Alonso, at least for the time being. And they've brought in Koulibaly. They're linked currently with Kimpembe. I don't rate him that highly. There's still apparently talks of Jules Koundé, who injured himself a while ago and had to go in for surgery. And they're also being linked with, well, they've brought in Sterling. Now the thing I always thought with Chelsea is they're a bit lopsided up front. Forget Lukaku. But they had a lot of nearly men. So Pulisic was nearly good enough, but not quite. Not for a long period of time. Plus injuries didn't help. Hudson-Odoi was never nearly good enough. He's not the answer for Chelsea. Hakim Ziyech was nearly good enough, but not quite again. He'd have the odd game or two where he's really good, and then he'd have a lot of games where he'd just irritate the hell out of you if you're a Chelsea fan. And he's been linked with AC Milan. I don't know if that deal's going to go through or not. What's his name? Is Dougal came out yesterday and said that Broja is not expected to leave. He wants to keep him with the team. So you're looking at front three of Sterling, Havertz, who's not a bad option down the middle. He's only 20 goals, but he's still a good option. And somebody off the left. They still need a. They was linked with Ousmane Dembele. They was linked with Rafinha. I think they really need to get themselves a left-sided attacker that they can play week in, week out. Because they don't have one right now. Pulisic, yeah, but not again, you just can't rely on that. So it'll be interesting to see what Chelsea do. City, they've brought in Haaland, obviously, Alvarez, Calvin Phillips, still being linked with Cucurella, and they're currently supporting every other team with players from Bazanu, I think he's called, the keeper, who's gone to Southampton, to one of their young players, Delap, could possibly gone to Burnley, and one of their young defenders gone to Burnley, Zinchenko to Arsenal, Jesus to Arsenal. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how City go this season. And I'm hearing a lot of people say, don't get too hyped up on Haaland. He has a lot of injury problems, and I remember that from his time at Bayern. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. And then we have Liverpool, last but not least. Liverpool have signed Darwin Núñez. And is that it? Is that the only deal they've done? Calvin Ramsey, is it? The young lad, the young right back. I forget, I think his first name is Calvin, but his second name is definitely Ramsey. I was looking for the FPL the other day, with 4 million on there. And I think that's all the deals they've done. I think they will do more. Oh, they've got Carvalho in as well, the young lad from Fulham. But yeah, Liverpool look pretty strong. I mean, they lost Origi, they sold him rather. And Minamino's gone. Oxlade-Chamberlain, I wouldn't be surprised if they let him go or sold him on. Yeah, Liverpool will still be there or thereabouts. If they're not first, then they're going to be second, in my opinion. But I don't know if they'll be as close to City as they were last season. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm back. The channel's back, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye.